Hi, my name is Chanel, and I'm going to be your student PT for today. Can I go ahead and confirm your name and your date of birth, please?
Common Light, April 21st, 2001.
Okay, nice to meet you, Coleman. How are you today?
Good.
Okay, so today I'll be working with you. We're going to be doing some exercises, but before we do, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to check your pulse. I'm going to check this in different areas of your body. The reason we're doing this is because I need to get like a baseline to see what your heart rate is like, as well to see how is the circulation of your blood in different areas. So what is normal, it should be between 60 to 100 beats per minute. So when I do this, I'm going to do it on bilaterally, so I can, compare one side to the next. What you should feel like a light pressure in the areas that I will be testing, which is going to be your neck, your arm, your wrist, your ankle, and your foot. You shouldn't feel like any discomfort or any pain, but if you feel free to let me know, and I can go ahead and I can reassess that as well, okay? So do I have the consent to work with you today?
Yes.
Okay, so the first thing I'm going to ask you to do, if you can go ahead and you can lay down. I see you already have your shoes off, which is great. So if you can just go ahead and extend your foot, and we can go ahead and the first area I'm going to start off with, I'm going to start off by testing your carotid arteries, which is on your neck. So when you do this, I'm going to show you how to test the areas that I mentioned, and you're going to be able to do this at home. But when you do the testing on the different areas, make sure that you don't test both arteries at the same time. That's your carotid artery, right? So I'm going to go ahead and ask you if you can turn your head this direction, so I can go ahead and check that artery here. Okay, great. I feel a very strong beat, which is good. So when I do this, I'm gonna do it for 30 seconds, and I'm gonna times it by 2. So, or you can do it for just 60 seconds. So if you can go ahead and turn your head to the other way, and I'll go ahead and I'll check that area too. Okay, you have a very strong beat too as well. So I do this for 30 seconds as I mentioned. And then I'm gonna come down and I'm gonna check your brachial artery, which is more medial. So I'm gonna go ahead and feel for that area right here. I'm gonna palpate to feel your brachial artery. And I can actually do both of them at the same time, so I can compare to see. Okay, I do feel that. It feels a very strong beat. Yeah, I'm getting a very strong beat from both of them. Okay, so now I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna check your radial. So it's gonna be more towards your tongue side. So if I'm gonna ask you to go ahead and have your hands turn a little. Okay. Okay, I can feel that as soon as I place my fingers here, I can feel your radial artery. That's a very strong pulse. You have a very strong pulse, which is good. So how are you feeling?
Feeling great.
You feel great?
Got strong
Okay.
pulses.
Yeah, very strong pulse. I can feel that pulsated in my hands. Okay, so now I'm gonna go down and I'm gonna check your tibialis posterior artery. This is more by your medial malleolus, going towards your Achilles tendon. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna palpate that area. All right. I can feel that pulsation again, very strong. So I do this for 30 seconds as I mentioned, and I times it by 2. And then the last area I'm gonna go ahead and test is gonna be your dorsalis pedis. So this artery can be found right by your second and your third metatarsal. And I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna do bilaterally, so I can once again get a comparison of what your beat is like. Okay, I can feel that very strong beat. So if you're doing this at home and you have a hard time finding that pulse, which in this area it might be a little faint because it's more like away from your heart. What you can do like some ankle pumps. That's just like pumping your ankles this way so that you can have the blood circulating in that area, and you can go ahead and test. Would you like to try to see if you know? Yes. So, but when you do this, you might want to put your legs like a little bit off the table, and then you do the pumps, and then you go back, and then you test that area. But I do feel a normal beat in that area as well. So I'm gonna do this like I mentioned for 30 seconds. Okay, great. So I did check your pulse in all the areas. Everything seems to be normal. Like I mentioned, the normal beat is 60 to 100 beats per minute. And everything is normal from your testing, so we can now proceed with the interventions that we have for today. But before we do that, I'm going to go ahead and have you answer some questions for me, okay? So, would you like to sit up or would you like to keep laying down?
Yeah, I might like.
Okay. Okay, so first question. Do you remember all the areas that you need to test to feel for your pulse rate?
Around the neck right here, here. Also around the elbow area right here. And then near the thumb side, near my wrist for the radial. And then underneath behind my medium malleola, my ankle right here. And then also underneath my my toes right here.
Okay, great. And how long should you place your finger in that area for?
I count for 30 seconds and multiply by 2.
Great. And do you know what the normal rate is?
60 to 100 beats per minute.
Good. Okay, so now we are going to proceed with our interventions that we have for today. Do you have any questions or concerns? How are you feeling? Are you feeling okay?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So let's go ahead and wrap up our session for today.